Hi crafters, Karen here. Do you have a bunch of background stamps in your stash that you don't know what to do with? Well, I think we're in the same boat. Here are just a few of some background stamps that I have in my stash. And for the month of April, I will be focusing on a series just using background stamps in a variety of ways. And I'm going to use this really cool technique that I call spray and stamp. I'm not really sure what the official name is of this technique, but if you are aware of it and you are familiar with it, let me know in the comments. I'd be curious to know what they call it. So here are the products that I'll be using in today's video. So I have the outline butterflies from Simon Says Stamps. I'm using the Heartfelt Wings stamp and die set from Scrappy Tales. And I will be using the largest butterfly die to create a butterfly shape card base. And then for my sentiment today, I will be using a heartfelt thank you sentiment. Now I have my card base cut and scored, and I have a piece of Bristol cardstock that I will be using for the technique today. Because I will be using water, I know that Bristol will hold up well. You can also use watercolor cardstock if you have that. I have my VersaFine Clair Nocturne ink that I will be using for my sentiment today. I have my sprayer, and then I have my 4 inks that I'll be using for some ink blending. I have Slippery When Wet, Fake Plant, Crown Me, and Midnight Snack. And then lastly, I have these green diamond dots that I will add as embellishments at the end of the video. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to get started. I have my butterfly die, and I'm going to place that on the top part of the folded card base. Now, it's important how you lay this on, because you want the top part of the butterfly, the part of the wings, to be hanging off of the scored part of the card. And then the bottom part of the die you want just touching the very end, the bottom there of the card base. So to hold everything in place, I'm going to use my mint tape from scrapbook.com. And I want to make sure that that butterfly stays in place when I run it through my Big Shot. I'm also going to take that same die and I'm going to cut out another butterfly on that Bristol cardstock. And that's what I will be doing my ink blending on. So I'm going to go ahead and take the card base and my Bristol cardstock, and I'm going to die cut off screen, and I will be right back. So here I am with the card base. You can see that the top part of the wings were cut off, and that's exactly what's supposed to happen. So this butterfly will rest on top of the card base. So you won't even see that crease going across that butterfly. So I bring in my inks to do some ink blending, and you can see I have this small ink dauber, and it's from Tim Holtz Ranger, and you can get them at any local store. If you don't have these, you can by all means use finger daubers, and if you don't have finger daubers, you can use just your regular ink blending brushes. All you do is mask off what you don't want inked. So I do place a piece of mint tape over the antennae so I don't get any of the other colors blended onto that. And I just start blending horizontally with my 3 colors. Now you can ink blend any way you want. If you want to add, one color in one area and another color in another area, you can do that. The important thing to know about this technique is that you need to have water reactive inks. So if you have Simon Hurley, if you have Gina K, if you have the Tim Holtz Distress Oxides or inks, if you have Catherine Pooler, or if you have Memento, those inks will work great with this technique. So I'm just wiping up that area. I don't want to get any ink, blended in from the other colors. And I bring in the Prom Queen, and I go ahead and, the Crown Me, and I just finish up ink blending that. So I'm going to go back and I'm just ensuring that I have a nice blend between the colors. I want there to be a nice transition between the three colors there. And then once I have that done and remove the tape, we're going to go ahead and I'm going to show you that spray technique. So I'm going to flip my background stamp over and I'm going to spray the entire side of it. And you don't need to drench it, you just need a few sprays. You just want to make sure that it's entirely covered. And then you're going to place it over the butterfly. And you're going to press down on the stamp. You don't need to press too firmly. You just want to make sure that you're applying enough pressure that the stamp is going to cover the entire piece that you're doing this to. So I make sure that that is all on there and ready to go. I lift off the stamp and you have this really cool impression. So it's basically the outline of the stamp on that butterfly. So with the water and the inks working together to do that, you get that really cool effect. Now I'm bringing in my Tonic Tim Holtz stamping platform. Now this is brand new to me. I got this earlier in the week and I've been playing around with it this week. Unfortunately, my current stamping platform does not do well with rubber stamps or like my background stamps, and I just don't get a good impression. So I kind of did some shopping and I saw this and I thought, well, let's give it a try. So I like this for a few reasons. One, I like the size of it. You can definitely do mass production if that's your cup of tea. And I like that it's easy to identify whether you're using clear stamps or rubber stamps. Now here I'm showing you the right-handed way of opening the stamping platform. I am left-handed, so this is completely backwards to me. And I cannot wrap my brain around that. So I have to flip it around back this way so that the door opens to the left. I know it's kind of funny, it's weird, but that's just my left-handedness and my brain can't just process it any other way. So to remove that plate, you just pull it off from the hinges and then you flip it over and then you just reattach it. And the words are there to tell you if you have the clear side or the rubber side. And you have that lip there, it's like that backwards L, and that will definitely tell you that you're using the rubber stamps for that. So again, it does come with 2 magnets, and I'm going to go ahead and place my butterfly on here, have the magnets hold it down, and then I'm going to take my clear stamp sentiment, I'm going to center that onto the butterfly, and I'm going to bring in my VersaFine Clair ink and ink that up. Now, your option is to place that sentiment on the inside of the card. Because of the size of the card base, I don't have a lot of room to write a message to my recipient. So I thought that by putting the sentiment on the front of the card would be better for me. And that's just my personal preference. Now I don't want to press too firm here because I don't want the letters to smudge or look blurry. So I'm just lightly tapping that down and there you have that pretty sentiment. Now I'm going to attach that ink blended butterfly onto my card base. I am going to be using my Bearly Arts glue, and when I'm dealing with these, the antennae and those smaller bottom pieces of the wings, and because of those small pieces, I want to make sure that I align that butterfly on the card base, correctly. So I need some wiggle room, and that's what the glue is going to do for me. It allows me a little bit more time to shift it and get it in place where I need it to be before I press down and adhere it. If I use my ATG gun or any other tape runner, I won't have that opportunity to wiggle it around and get it in place before adhering it. I'm placing the ink on the back, and I'm going to go pretty much all the way up until just below the tips of the wings on either side. The tips of those wings will be over that the crease or the score part of the card base. So you won't see that scoring part from the front of that card. So I get that lined up, and then once I see that it's all lined up, then I will, I press down and I, get that adhered. And once I have that done, I'm going to move into placing my diamond dots onto the front of the card. So I have my tool picker, I have my glue, and I'm just going to empty out just a few of these diamond dots and place them on the card. I wasn't sure if I wanted 3 of these on there or more. And you'll see that, after I put this third one on, I kind of, put my tool picker down and I'm kind of deciding. And then I decided I need to add just a couple more. So I do add 2 more for a total of 5 of those diamond dots on the front. And because they are relatively small, I thought that that was a good number. So there's the finished product. And I really like this technique. I just love how, the effect is really cool. And you definitely want to make sure that you're using darker color inks. It will show up better than if you use lightly colored inks. Now, I've been playing around with this for a while this week, and I did make a couple of other cards. And I used, again, the same Simon Hurley inks. I used the same stamp pad, my background stamp. And here I used my lunar paste, and I placed that on a piece of cardstock, and then I cut that butterfly out on it for my embellishment. And then I already had that sentiment stamped, and it was all ready to go. I used my waffle flower etched rectangle dies, and I had that frame left over from that rectangle. So I thought that I would make this really cute shaker card. And I have, I added more of the diamond dots. I had the purple and the blue, so I thought that would look cute with the green as well. This wraps up another video, friends. I hope that you enjoyed this technique. And until my next video, I hope your day is a crafty day. Thanks so much for watching. See you again soon. Bye-bye.